Hello there, and welcome back to episode 53 of Minetest Gameplay, of sorts. We're back by the fountain. Hi, Mr. Pengy. And he says, if you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah. So what we're going to look at today is a secret underwater lair, which I swear is not going to be used for evil purposes. No, not at all. So let's go look for said secret lair. Well, I don't see nothing. Except for a moo cow. More moo cows. So we gotta go and find this secret lair. Is it the palm tree? That cow is way too close to that ledge. Right. Hey, what's that? There it is. Well, there's part of it. So, excuse me. I'm filming here. Thank you. Oh, I don't believe that. Well, let's go find said secret lair because this cow he wants to grab all the attention. So how do we get down into said secret lair? Just see a bunch of trees. This inconspicuous mound. A bunny rabbit. Oh, there we go. Just a simple piston door. Just slider. Nice and compact. Using a player detector node to hide it. Go down into the... Now this area here was supposed to be a condo. And it still is. But this one's going to cost you. Yes. It's in a very nice neighborhood. Great views. If I tell you, the fans are going to go crazy. There we go. And it's not done. Like everything else here. There's room for expansion. Hey, I see some secret doors. All right. So we go all the way down because we're going under the sea. And no, I am not going to sing Under the Sea from Little Mermaid because that would be copyright infringement. All right. So back here, we are going to, this is where like the main labs are going to be when I get going on it. But for the most part, the main idea of this was to have an underwater observatory. Look at that. Hey, there's a sea turtle. And it goes up into the little sea area where the dome is. Now the dome, let's see what we can see here real quickly. There's some sharks. There's a couple sharks. We had a sea turtle. There's where we were. There's Mr. Sea Turtle. And then I already tried recording this once, but there was so much stutter in the recording that it was kind of unusable. I don't know what happened. Hey, there's two sea turtles. But no, there's a big shark. Had a shark come right up to the glass, almost like it was looking in. There's another one. It sees us. They're checking us out. Yeah. So this bottom part was easy because what I did, hey, the chicken grew up. What I did was first went down to the bottom of the ocean floor. There's got to be deeper. I was looking for something really deep. This is pretty deep. And went down to the floor and first put in the glass blocks. And then I said, well, let's go back and play with world edit domes again. And there's got to be, everything went fine. The dome went in, just had to seal around the outside a little bit on one area. The problem is when you put in a dome underwater, the water is inside the dome. And it's the hardest thing to get rid of. I've tried. Now, in the underwater mansion, I actually was able to dig a tunnel down from the main room into a cavern underneath, and a lot of the water drained out that way. This one wouldn't. It just, like it was a water feature or something. So I literally had to fill the entire dome with different color blocks, so I knew which ones to break and which ones not to. Because when you do that, it takes the place of the water. And then finally, I had to surround the entire outside of the dome, and then change water into air, and then put buckets of water back on to get to get rid of the dome. Hi, Mr. Short. Okay. So the water is pretty deep. However, I wish it was deeper. I'm trying to find some more deeper area to go by. So it's going to be really cool. This is going to be it's going to be an observation point, but there's no money to be made in that. So just like the secret factory layer, we're going to sell weapons or something. Now this little chicken here is kind of interesting because I threw an egg, not thinking that it was going to turn into a baby chick, and yes, it did. It turned into it. And in the show notes, in the description, there's going to be a list of other YouTubers and builders that I use for what's the word I'm looking for? Inspiration. Wow. I really don't like gravel, but I hit gravel. I do like the way it sounds, though. That's cool. So right at this point over here, this directly above us right over here is that palm tree. So the idea is to go all the way to the other side. Now I could have used a Digtron, but I haven't had too much luck with setting up said Digtron. So I'm going to go from there. One of the things, I'm trying to use different textures. I seem to gravitate towards, I really do like the way the default stone looks. There's a big shark. But I was watching some other, there's one channel called Fit MC, and he goes on tours of these different, I guess there's like this real old anarchy server for Minecraft, and there's no rules and stuff like that, and they have these builds, and he's real dramatic about it. But the I guess they're doing some kind of vault project where all these big glorious builds from different servers, and these builds are I look at my builds and stuff that I've done on this world, and I'm happy with it, and I'm real proud of myself and pat myself on the back. And then you see some of these other builds, and you swear that these people don't have jobs, that all they do 24 hours a day is play Minecraft. But it shows. And there's some pretty spectacular stuff in there. So using inspiration of different textures and how to fit different blocks together, and just ideas I want to try of making different kind of everything from bridges to fences. And there's a whole bunch of other Minetest YouTube channels And actually, I have the honor of having a couple of them look at my stuff, which is really cool. And I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the names right, but recently in the notes, MakerMine, and his channel will be in the description. And he does a lot. He's got some of the server walkthroughs that he does are pretty spectacular. And one would be a fool not to get inspiration, and you know, you're not stealing ideas or anything like that, but it enhances one's building. Look at that sunset. Wow. Cool. And another one is Mango Fox 70. And she's the daughter of Robbie Ferguson over at Category 5 TV, which I've watched that for years. And they actually have a creative and a survival server, the Pixel Shadow. That's pretty cool. And now we go out here and it closes up real nicely. I got to do some more to this to make it look, because you got this mound of dirt, and that turned out pretty cool, except for everything else is flat. So I kind of have to blend that in a little, just a little better. But getting back to, I get off topic so easily. It's shiny, yes. But there's a lot of inspiration to be had, and I really want to start getting away from the normal stuff that I use in my builds and start really taking some take some chances, or really experimenting. And the castle, even though the castle did not turn out exactly the way I envisioned it, it still looks pretty cool. And the interior of it is what I was shooting for, that old time Gothic kind of busy look, but you know, very detailed and very elaborate. And so in certain ways I failed, but in certain ways I excelled. And that's what I'm looking for. But some of the castles I've been seeing in some of these worlds, and recently, I forgot the name. BOO, and it's Minecraft, and he's on the Hermitcraft server with Mumbo Jumbo. Yeah, nice names. But and there's a lot of people that I'm leaving out that are just, you know, just as good. But he had a castle which was like, that's what I envisioned. I want to do that. But no, it didn't go that way. But I have loads of area in this world to do that. So, I put a bunch of channels in, and by no means, I mean, my list of YouTube's channels that I look at, it would take all day to put in there. And, but go visit those channels if you want inspiration, because you'll get it. So you can see off in the distance. Well, maybe you can't. So maybe I'll go to sunset or sunrise. I put a dome in. Now, I've always wanted to do this. I was playing in my play world because I wanted to do that under... there's a storm in the area. I wanted to do the underwater dome. And I said, well, I want an atrium. I want like a biodome. You know, Pauly Shore Biodome. If anybody remembers that movie. And it turned out pretty cool. So let's go take a look. It said there's some bees. It said area. So this over here is the new washroom. And that's another great thing about this world. You don't like something where it was? You move it. This is a standard washroom. Got a real cool ceiling using the caged glass from the one-way glass. You knew I was going to do that. So, they all leak. Look at it. They're leaking. Whatever. So that's done. So I kept the elevator. Everything is intact. Expanded out a little bit. And got this glorious area here. Nice little patio. You can go out. But this is, I really, if I was a trillionaire or a millionaire, I would do something like this. So the dome is from World Edit because there's no way there's enough time in my schedule to lay every piece of glass. So I cheated a little bit. Oh well. But I landscaped it. I put all my favorite trees in there. And every time I get rid of the animals, they come back. So down in the bottom, I kind of cleaned it up, opened it up a little bit. And I still have a little bit more work to do down there. But I put this massive custom pine tree in the middle. And then some supporting trees. And it does look cool at night. But I can't show you the one feature that I'm going to show you in the dark. And I love this steel support. It's from the Streets mod. And then the industrial cage, which is from my favorite stairs and stairs mod. We come up to the little catwalk. And we get a cool overview of everything inside the atrium. And that's pretty awesome. And at night, it even looks cooler. Now, this takes inspiration, believe it or not. Down in Chicago, we have these. They're not botanical gardens. I just had it on the tip of my tongue, and forgot it. Really, I do research this stuff before. But there's four of these places in Chicago. There's one in Lincoln Park and one towards the suburbs, one in South Chicago. And it's driving me crazy what those are. I'll think of it, but the buildings are very old. They're from the 30s and 40s. And like the one has this real has a fern room, and it's all plants. It's like it's a botanical garden, but they call it something else. And they have plants from all different areas. Like the one in Lincoln Park also has a cactus room and a conservatory, Lincoln Park Conservatory. Right as I went to pick up my phone to Google it, I remember it. So there. And I mean, these places are absolutely beautiful. I'll put a link in the description. But they have, the one has this beautiful stained glass ceiling and dome area. And there's these catwalks going up throughout the trees up there so that the people that work there could take care of the plants and the trees that are real tall like that. And it turns out pretty cool. So we're going to go around because to jump off it, that's where I want to go. To jump off there, one would surely get very severely injured, even though I could jump onto the trees and climb down. But look at that view from up here. One sees almost everything. So it's pretty cool. And I really do love those steel structures. And you come down. So now we're going to go back into this little area here. And we're going to go downstairs because that's where I can't get rid of that cow. You know, in certain ways, I have I mess with the Lua, which is the programming language, and that's what dictates to what these animals do, and other things in the world do. That's where all the settings are and the code that makes them do what they do. And I made it so that water doesn't kill them anymore, because I got tired of seeing the the raw meat and the bones and everything. But the thing is, no, don't go in my house. Thank you. The thing is, now I can't get them out of the water. So there was a time when, he likes me. He really likes me. I can't back up anymore. Jeez. So there was a so what they were doing is they won't die in the water, but now they won't get out of the water. It's like that. He came through the glass. It's like they enjoy the water too much. So I fixed one problem, but created another problem. So we can actually go down here, because accidentally I punched through a wall, but it turned out to be a plus because we cut through that hallway. That's where the train is. Now we come out here. We get the full glory of this whole thing is now indoors. So we're going to go. I still have to fix this problem with the fishies. And I took out the one tree, the one acacia tree, to put in the pine tree. But how would you like, realistically, thumbs up if you'd like to see, bribing people. Thumbs up if you would really like to live in something like this in real life. I would. I really would. This would be cool. Let's see if it. No baby chicken. See what I mean about the raw meat? Get away. There we go. So there's a little bit of cleanup here. I want to take out those coal blocks and stuff, make it look all uniform. But that turned out really, really cool. And I'm thinking about, for nighttime, hanging some lights off of the scaffolding, just to give it that, just that much more appearance of, the coolness. And everything else is working. I really got to get going on this area, because the cow is playing with the shark. Ooh, let's go look at. That is so neat to have views like that. And I know in real life, these you can have panels like this. There's a video I found a couple years ago about the second largest aquarium in Japan. I believe it's in Okinawa, and photographer Ray Alston. He took it and put a music video on it, and the glass that is used in this aquarium is just mind-boggling. But that looks so neat to have something like that. Luckily, the sharks are friendly. Yeah. And I still haven't done anything with this. I have to move this pipe, because that pipe goes to feed the bathhouse, to go further, to expand this area. Unfortunately, I haven't even put the kitchen in yet, because up here, this is the dining room. This is the custom dining room and kitchen. And then that's going to be the living room. So we already know that goes back to the pool, which goes back to the main house, but we'll go the other way. Because that still has that neat waterfall feature. I want to do something with that too. I want to clean this up. But I'm kind of limited to what I can do because above here is dirt. So it's kind of cool. And I opened that up and took away the stair rail and stuff. I'm most likely going to put the, I want the wooden deck in here. I think that would look a lot better than the, stone. So that actually turned out pretty cool. A little mistake, and it turned out. Because now there is... Wish that cow would just go play somewhere. And you can see the dome from there. And it just has this real... just real cool effect. Too many doors. So it's not too obtrusive. Which is kind of cool. Other than that, I've just been going around playing with different things. Yeah, the waterfall still works. Let's go up this way because I did change one thing. No, I want to go this way. Yeah. And I had to shut off. Part of my lagging problem was the Technics, the blinky plants that we're using on the filter injector. So now I can only use my sorters when I actually do stuff. So if I leave them on, it literally causes so much lag over in that area that the game will crash. And which 2 videos ago with the when I was showing that the obsidian, the lava turning into that because of the active quarry. And it's basically because of all the stuff that I've added to the world. It's kind of caught up to it. And like I said, this is a Frankenstein version of the game. This, in all honesty, it's a miracle that this game is even running right now with the amount of mods that I have installed in it. So that's the thing. I completely changed this. If you remember, this workshop over here, you see how that was the mini castle tower, and it had that. So I spawned one in because this used to be the test world, and which turned into my fixed world after I moved Serenity over and kind of cleaned up that whole area over there, and then revamped the tree houses and stuff like that. And this was laying on its side. So I said, well, I can make an old Quonset hut type building out of it. Well, I didn't like it too much. And so you have the greenhouse still over here, which is a mini dome. From World Edit, I think that's a 5 radius. When you go into World Edit, you can select a radius. The big dome that I used over on the main house that we just came from, that was a radius of 18. And this one's 5. So you can see how the difference in that. But one of the main goals was taking this house. I didn't want to remove it completely, but I wanted to change it and play with different textures. And that's what I did. This is from the My Sightings. I'm pretty sure I didn't show this off yet. And the corners are just stone blocks. And I love the way that contrast looks with the red roof. So let's go in and take a look. And if I did show it, sorry, but I put the steel supports in here. I don't like how that's flickering. It didn't on full screen. I'm not recording in full screen right now, so. But I got the hanging lights and everything. It looks like it's a shop. So we have 2 garage doors so we can work on boats or whatever. Bring it in there just like a professional shop. And it turned out it turned out really good. But this is the kind of detail, you know, the little details that go in there that make something look realistic or, you know, over the top, or, you know, it just needs that one more thing. And one of the boats is gone. Huh. Cactuses or cacti. So there. The only thing other is, you know, this world was created before I put the Dream Builder pack in. So around the trees, you don't have the, like in my little test world, the fun little test world, around the trees, you have how it really looks in a forest. So you have like the dirt, and then you have the forest soil. There's different, he's stuck. He's half in and half out, and I don't know what he's going to do. Let's see if I can feed him. You gonna follow me? Hi. Yes. I gotta do something. He's stuck. Let's see if I can get him out of there, because how could I miss? Okay, I gotta plan this just right. There we go. Poor guy. Is that better? Okay. Don't go back there, okay? Oh, there's the sunrise. Cool. That's just about going to do it, because I timed it. Those so during you turn this daylight on, you set the time back, and when it goes back to nighttime, it's 20 minutes. So I've been yammering on for 20 minutes. But it's so much fun going through some of this. Let's get rid of some of this stuff here. Now, whoever created these sunflowers, I'm sure, you know, they're beautiful, but you know what? They're just annoying, and I don't like them, and I can't get rid of them. And the thing is that they spawn, they pop up so quickly. So no offense if you created them, whoever it is. But yeah, that's nice. The cow changed it. I had a problem with the button. It's stuck. I need a cup of coffee. I just got off work a little while ago. And I still can't find my my shopkeeper. He vanished. All right, so we'll make our way back over to the main house. Look how cool that looks. Just, you know, coming up to it, just the immense size of it. And see, this is what I'm talking about. I did this. I was playing around with the soils. You know, put a fallen tree. I don't know why there's why there's sand here. That doesn't fit my... But I think that looks really cool. And unfortunately, because the world already... I already had the world before I added that. Around the trees, it didn't get that. But that just adds a real nice touch. But I am really, really pleased with how that dome came in. So now I will be a botanical professor, whatever. There. Imagine having to wash all that glass. No way. So in the, I'm going to do something here, like put some kind of overhang, because that just looks a little bit too plain. But this is turning out really, really cool. So what I have left to do is I have to finish the tunnel on the underwater layer. Remember, it's not for evil purposes. It's for observing underwater wildlife. That's what we're telling the government for grants. So yeah. And I have to do some more pruning on this tree. That's a beacon on top there. For anything over 100 feet has to have a beacon. I tried getting beacons. There's beacons in Minecraft and there's beacons in Minetest, which are very similar. And I tried getting those to work and it just immediately causes the game to crash. And it says it works on the development version. So I don't know. I have to look at that. But that gives a real nice effect. But other than that, that just looks really, really cool. And I don't want to overdo it. So I might, there's some bushes and shrubs that I want to put in this area, but tastefully. And go from there. So, like I said in the show description, I got to do some more pruning and crafting here to make this look more real. Because what I ended up doing is extending the tree up. But I wanted to give, this is how it spawned in, how it grew in. Because of the constriction of the blocks on the other side and the tree that was already here. And then I just continued it up and, did my little artistic touches, which it's okay. But this has to be smaller than the base. So I have a little more crafting and pruning to do on that. To make it look realistic. But I am very happy with the way that turned out. I was really worried. Always make a backup world. I made a backup world before I started making major changes. Because it said, I'm going to put in 4,271 blocks. Please confirm. And I went, yeah, the last time I put in that many blocks, it triggered the world regen. And blocks started appearing. But then again, the last time when I did that, that's what spawned the area over here for the underwater mansion and that lighthouse. That whole crop of stone came out of that mistake. So I have a knack for... which is really cool, that my mistakes actually turn into positives. Very rarely, but they do. So, we're going to leave you with this gorgeous view of my botanical garden, atrium, biodome, whatever you want to call it. And in the description will be some of my favorite YouTubers. And their channels, links to their channels that I use for inspiration. And like I said, by far, it is a very short list of a very long list of of videos I watch for inspiration. And if you're ever bored and looking for ideas, go check out some other people's channels. You'll get some great ideas to use for your own stuff. So, that being said, yeah, that's it. We're going to leave it at that. So thank you for watching. If you like, please consider liking and subscribing. It's greatly appreciated if you're new. And come back and check out more of what I'm going to do to this world until either the computer crashes and it won't start anymore, or I get tired of it. So thank you, and everybody have a fantastic day. Goodbye.